What we're seeing right now seems to be Elon Musk's attempt to take over key areas of the federal government. So let's talk about who Elon Musk is and, more importantly, who he is not. Elon Musk is the richest person on the planet. He is someone who has massive government contracts here and around the world. He is not someone who is elected to office by the American people. He is not someone who is confirmed by the U.S. Senate. His role was created by executive order, and his team is taking control of some parts of government agencies. And you just heard. Today, the White House said Musk has been designated as a special government employee. That position does come with a conflict of interest requirements and ethics policies, but they are far less strict than federal employees or people in full-time roles. These types of employees can work up to 130 calendar days of the year. And Elon Musk, remember, once famously said, "I go to wherever the problem is." And people often say he creates value wherever he goes. But that's great. But my question is, who is he solving this problem for? Who is he creating value for? Is it for himself? Is he trying to tear our government down to its studs so we can just privatize the whole thing? Or is it for the American people? Well, we're going to cover it every night. Let's get started now and get smarter with the help of our leadoff panel. Brendan Greeley is here, contributing editor for the Financial Times. Jackie Alamany, who we have not seen in ages. I'm thrilled she's back. White House reporter for the Washington Post and an MSNBC contributor. Susan Glasser joins us, staff writer for the New Yorker. And Sam Stein, managing editor for the Bulwark and an MSNBC contributor. All right, Brendan. The way I see this to me looks an awful lot like a corporate raid, except in corporate America, they don't have this kind of control. Here, they've got control of the Department of Justice, the Treasury Department, the SEC, and you've got, just take one agency, right? You've got Elon Musk's team now inside the Treasury Department with access to our payment system, right? Payments up to $6 trillion. And they're now in that system, a bunch of unelected officials, many of them who are in there who work for Musk, who are just guys from his private businesses. They're now camped out, whether it's at the OMB, whether it's at Treasury, or just shutting down USAID completely. This, to me, feels a lot like a corporate raid.
I think we should resist the instinct to think of any of this as policy. None of this is how policy works. If you have issues with what the federal government is spending, get in line. We all do. But that's not how that negotiation has ever happened. That's not how it's supposed to happen under the Constitution. That doesn't get us anywhere. So that the idea that they might cut spending by jumping in and publishing things that they find wasteful and then saying, shouldn't we cut this, doesn't get us anywhere. And the thing that that this doesn't recognize at all is that spending in America is a complex negotiation among lots of people. And the reason we spend what we do from this government is because that's what the democracy has said that we're going to do. When Donald Trump cut taxes in his last administration, they didn't cut any spending. Paul Ryan didn't bother with it. It was too difficult. It wasn't any fun. So what we're looking at now is not policy.
But is it constitutional?
It's not constitutional. It's information warfare. They are releasing data selectively so that we can get outraged about it. It's not policy. It's warfare.
I have a funny feeling we're going to get no insight into any of the big contracts Elon Musk has over at the Pentagon. Jackie, this is happening at lightning speed. You reported today on Trump and Musk's kind of two-front war on the government and how Donald Trump is happy to let Elon Musk do the dirty work. Talk to us about what's going on behind the scenes.
Yes, Stephanie. I mean, as you noted, this is a really fast-moving target, and that is in part the point and the strategy here, as Steve Bannon has said repeatedly, to flood the zone. And Musk is at the moment moving at a pace faster than I think plaintiffs and potential civil servants who are feeling under siege at the moment within their agencies, who are facing really close deadlines to have to potentially agree to these deferred resignations that have been sent out to every single federal employee. at a fast enough rate to organize and resist what is going on in time to sort of hit these deadlines before they're actually sort of physically forced out of the building. But essentially, what we have learned that Musk is doing is sort of taking his SpaceX, his Tesla, his managerial playbook and trying to apply that to the federal government right now. Of course, it remains to be seen whether Donald Trump and Musk have ultimately the same altruistic goals and motivations here at the end of the day, or whether there are some ulterior motives. That is something that I don't think anyone has really gotten to the bottom of. But the ultimate plan here and what we're seeing form right now in real time is Musk basically trying to identify the core mechanisms of federal government, circumventing the bureaucracy, circumventing Congress, taking control of these mechanics and trying to find a way to implement some of Trump's potentially illegal and improper policies and executive orders and desired outcomes through the controlling the systems of the government, through such as via the Fiscal Bureau and the obtaining control and access to the payment system within the Treasury Department, which does not make policy or have control over what is designated as fraud and abuse per se, but is really just the mechanism that actually disperses and distributes all of the payments. And if it is toyed with in a way that is improper, could cause some serious criminal and civil penalties potentially.
Sam, what's your take on all this?
Well, I agree with Jackie here. What you have is someone who really actually doesn't have much familiarity with the way that government tends to work, the way that spending tends to get done, the way that budget negotiations tend to happen. And he's taking a different mindset and trying to basically reinvent it. And look, you got to give him credit to a degree, right? He has absolutely upended Washington, D.C. He has put an entire federal agency in paralysis, essentially. As sources at USAID today woke up, they didn't have access to email. They couldn't get into the building. To be able to do that takes a sheer amount of strength and persuasion and, frankly, chutzpah, to borrow a Yiddish word, that not many people, if anyone, have ever applied to Washington, D.C. But then the question becomes, is it legal? I'm not sure it is legal, and I don't think a lot of people think it's legal. And beyond that, is it effective? And yes, I think everyone now believes that USAID will be cut down. I think people recognize that the next targets are going to be the Department of Education, the GSA, federal buildings, basically any agency that he believes he can cut some fat off of. But then the question is, at what cost? And we've had, we opened up a tip line, and we've had 50 to 60 federal workers and people who are related or friends with them email us panicked, paranoid, fearful, freaking out about the prospect that Elon Musk and his aides have access to these treasury payments. They are fearful that their Social Security payments could be nicked. Now, Trump said he's never going to touch Social Security, but the idea that they have this fear in the back of the head, I mean, that is a huge political liability for Donald Trump. And so, look, this is fine when it goes at warp speed, which is what Elon Musk is doing right now. But eventually, reality does set in. And I'll stop here, but it was notable today that Marco Rubio came out and said, I am now effectively running USAID, which was interpreted by people I talked to as an admission that USAID will survive. It will be in the State Department. It will not be eliminated, as Elon Musk had said, which to me signifies that the Trump people know that there are some vulnerabilities here.
Susan, when it comes to public opinion about U.S. foreign aid, does a lot of it come down to the fact that the benefits aren't tangible for American voters? And if it's not something they can point to in their communities, they're happy to say, not all Americans, but they're happy to say, I don't know, maybe we don't need to be spending money like that. Do they not understand that if USAID doesn't exist, if we're not supporting these developing countries, they could turn to the likes of China or Russia, which is an issue for us?
Yeah, Steph, I'm glad you pointed that out. I think that's really getting to the heart of the matter here. I can't imagine anyone who's more thrilled about the specter of the president of the United States through his proxy, the richest man in the world, attacking our main instrument of soft power around the world, which is to say, providing life-saving aid in Africa, providing sustenance for the people of Ukraine as their energy infrastructure is attacked every day by Russia. All around the world, these projects exist not simply out of the goodness of Americans' hearts, but because they were seen as a key instrument of national power and of promoting our national interests around the world. That's the origin of this agency. President John F. Kennedy signed it into being at the height of the Cold War in a global competition with the Soviet Union. Elon Musk and Donald Trump seem to be saying, well, let's just let China and Russia win that global competition. And in fact, again, this isn't, I really appreciated Brendan's point about this this being a form of information warfare. This is not a policy discussion about what kind of government cuts to have. That would be misleading for people to take that away from this. There is no proposal that Elon Musk or Donald Trump have put forward about what we should be spending on this agency, which, by the way, again, this spending was all approved by Congress. It is Congress that has the power to appropriate funds in our system. And that's the other point that's important. So number one, you have this question of Russia and China benefiting when the U.S. chooses to attack its own government. Elon Musk said today, he called it a criminal agency. This is an extraordinary libel, frankly, of the people who are working there, of the people whose work every day is taking place under very hazardous conditions, war zone conditions. And I found that to be repulsive. But also there's this point, it's a constitutional crisis. If you have the executive branch essentially asserting the power to attack a congressionally authorized and funded agency. And so the question that I have is whether Congress is going to do anything about this extraordinary usurpation of its power. And if it doesn't, I think we have a major shift in the constitutional balance of power in this country.